Good morning, children. Stay safely at home. So, today I am starting the last chapter, electricity. Now, what is electricity? You should know that first. What is electricity? Electricity or electric current is nothing but another form or most commonly used form of energy. Alright. Next question will arise, we get the electric current when free electrons move over a closed path. Remember, electrons should be free and it should move where? Over a closed path. Path has to be closed. Alright, then it gives rise to electric current or electricity. Alright, now if you consider the different sources of electricity, solar cell which converts solar energy into electrical energy, then electric generators or dynamos, okay, which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Then there are battery and electric cell. Battery and electric cell, what they do? They convert chemical energy into electrical energy. So I am repeating, solar cell is a source of energy. Electric energy, how it produces electric energy? It converts solar energy into electric energy. Then another source is electric generators or dynamos. Now electric and generators or dynamos, how they produce electricity? They convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Then battery and electric cell, how they produce electricity? They convert chemical energy into electrical energy. Now there are other sources of electricity also. We know that the electricity we use in our household, that is produced in different power plant. Alright. Now there are mainly three kind of power plant. First one is nuclear power plant. Inside nuclear power plant, what happened? Nuclear energy is converted into electrical energy. I have written in short as the space was not there. Electric, it is elect I have written, but you must write electric. E I have written, you must write energy. Electric energy. Then hydroelectric power plant, Maithan you know. Here energy of flowing water converted into electrical energy. How it is converted? The intermediate step I have discussed in the earlier chapters. Then next one is thermal power station. Thermal power station, what is done? Heat energy is converted into electrical energy. Alright. And the closed path through which the electrons flows, electric current passes, is known as electric circuit. Alright. So here you are supposed to learn all these points. So please note it down. Putting asterisks, all the important points you are supposed to learn, remember and practice. Now next we have to elaborately study about the electric cell and electric battery. Now what is electric cell? Electric cell is the device which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Now how an electric cell? We make two different metal, two dissimilar metals, just like zinc and copper. They are dipped in the common electrolyte, same electrolyte. One example of electrolyte is dilute H2SO4. So if you take a zinc rod and a copper rod and if you dip it inside a dilute H2SO4, it will give rise to a electric cell. Now inside the electric cell, what happens? These two metals, they react with the electrolyte, and as a result of chemical reaction, what happens? On one metal, electrons get accumulated, and another metal, it loses electron. Okay, so the metal rod which loses electron, it becomes positively charged, and the metal rod which gains electron become negatively charged. So when you will connect the positive and negative terminal together, then what happens? Electric current flows from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. Alright. So this elaborate detailed thing you don't have to write. That's why I have written just point wise that electric cell has two terminals, positive terminal and negative terminal. Which terminal is the positive terminal? The metal rod which loses electron due to chemical reaction. And which one is negative terminal? The metal rod which gains electron due to the chemical reaction is considered as the negative terminal. And inside the cell what happens? Chemical reaction takes place. As a result, electric current is produced. And most important point you have to remember that current comes out from the cell through the positive terminal. It comes out from the positive terminal and enters into the cell through the negative terminal. So this will help you to find out in which direction electric current or electricity passes. Now there are two types of electric cell, primary cell and secondary cell. Now which cells are known as primary cell? The cell which cannot be reused, which cannot be recharged, known as primary cell. And the cells which can be reused and recharged are known as the secondary cell. Alright. Now inside primary cell, why the primary cell cannot be reused or recharged? Because the chemical reaction within the primary cell is irreversible. You cannot reverse back the reaction. Alright. But inside the secondary cell, chemical reaction is reversible. That's why secondary cell can be recharged also and can be reused also. Alright. Now EMF of primary cell. EMF actually gives measure how much electrical energy or the current you can draw from the cell. Now primary cell cannot provide you much electricity. So EMF full form is, this is the way you must write, E capital, M capital, F capital. The full form of EMF is electromotive force. Okay. Now EMF of primary cell is low and EMF of secondary cell is high. So from the primary cell you can get less amount of electricity, whereas secondary cell can provide you large amount of electricity. Alright. And in case of primary cell, internal resistance is high. When the current passes through the cell, then what happens? Electrolyte, electrolyte, they always remain dissociated into ions. Just like consider a dilute H2SO4. H2SO4, it will dissociate into hydrogen ion and sulfate ion. So when the electrons or the current, it is trying to flow within the electrolyte, within the dilute H2SO4, then this ions, hydrogen ion, sulfate ion, they opposes the motion of the electric current within the electric cell. So this opposition is known as the internal resistance. Alright. Now why primary cell can provide you less amount of electricity? Because the opposition within the cell or the internal resistance provided, offered by the electrolyte to the flow of current is quite high. But for secondary cell, internal resistance is quite low. Alright. So I have written point wise, I have discussed in details, elaborate discussion I have done, but for the exam you may not have to remember all the elaborate points. That's why the important points I have just noted down, and I have here given the difference between primary and secondary cell. So if you learn the difference, then you can easily tell me the characteristics of the primary cell. What are the characteristics of the primary cell? These are the characteristics of the primary cell and these are the characteristics of the secondary cell. So what is the first point of difference? The primary cell which cannot be reused, secondary cell which can be used again and again. Primary cell cannot be recharged, secondary cell can be recharged. Chemical reaction within primary cell is irreversible, chemical reaction within secondary cell is reversible. EMF of primary cell is low, EMF of secondary cell is high. Internal resistance of the cell is high and internal resistance of the secondary cell is low. This is the most important topic related with the exam. So everybody should learn it, that what are the differences between primary and secondary cell and what are their characteristics. Next is coming the concept of battery. What is a battery? A number of secondary cells joined in series. Alright, now you have to understand that what is the meaning of joining them in series. Now consider one electric cell. This is the symbol for electric cell. Alright, you better use the symbol. Don't have to draw the entire cell showing the two different rods dipped in an electrolyte. No need. Use the symbol. What is the symbol for electric cell? The two parallel lines, one big, one small. The big line indicates the positive terminal and the small line indicates the negative terminal. So take care that one line should be big and another line should be small and they should be parallel to each other. Alright. Now you see how I have joined the cell here. You see here the negative terminal connected to positive, again negative connected to positive, negative connected to positive, so on. Alright, so this is the way when you connect the electric cells together, it known as that the structure or the device you are getting by joining the electric cells in series known as battery. Now the question is why it is so? Because one electric cell can provide you less amount of electricity, but when you are joining several cells in series, I repeat, how to join in series, then only what they will do, they can provide you, they are capable of providing large amount of current. So just to get large amount of current, what we do, we join the electric cells in series and we form battery. So that is the usefulness of a battery, that battery can provide greater current than an electric cell. Now, how the electricity is transmitted to your house. Alright, the way it is given in your book, that is not at all the correct one given. So that's why I have tried my level best to give you in short so that you can understand also and it will not become very complicated. That's the way I have tried. Now, electric power plant is the first step where electricity is produced. Alright, so what is the electric power plant? What is done in electric power plant? Electricity is produced. Then electricity you have to transmit to your house, to the locality, which means our locality is far away from the place where the electricity is produced. Alright, so what is done? Now, before that, what is done, just understand it. Electricity always transmitted with the help of three lines. How many lines we need to transfer electricity from one place to another? Three lines. What are the name of the lines? Live, I have written L. Then N for neutral and E for earth. So, we need three lines to transfer electricity from one place to another. I will come in details about this live, neutral and earth later on. Now understand it. First, what is done? First, the electricity it is fed into grid substation. Alright, grid substation, it means the grid substation always it is built very near to the electric power plant. Alright, then after grid substation, another substation will come, main substation. This distance between the grid substation, the distance, you don't write this, distance is very large. Alright, so what is done? In between, electricity is transmitted through electric poles. I have written electric poles. Means several electric poles are there because the distance between the grid substation and main substation is generally very large. So, through the electric poles, electricity is transmitted, alright, to the main substation. Then, from the main substation, electricity is transferred to the intermediate substation. Then, from intermediate substation, electricity is transferred to city substation, and then from the city substation, which generally situated, located near our locality, near our household, and from the city substation, we get the electricity. So that's why I have written that from the city substation, electricity is going to where? Consumer houses. Alright. Now the question arises that what are these substations? Inside substations, there are transformers. So, write down this point. Inside substations, What are there? There are transformers. Alright. Now, what are transformer? Transformer is a device which can increase or decrease alternating voltage or alternating current. Remember, the current, the electricity, there are two type of electricity, direct current and alternating current. Alright. So, if I draw the direct current graph, just I am showing you, this is direct current DC and this is time. Direct current like this. There is no change in the magnitude. There is no change in the direction. But if you consider the alternating current, okay, it is alternating current. AC. AC means not air cooler or air condition. Alternating current. Alternating current versus time graph, if you plot, it looks like this. There are other curves also. It looks like this. Means what you see? Current increasing, then decreasing, changing the direction. So, alternating current is the current which changes its direction at regular interval of time, but which changes its magnitude at every moment. That is alternating current. And what kind of current we use in household? We use alternating current. We do not use direct current. Is that clear? And what is direct current? Direct current is the current whose magnitude and direction remain constant throughout the time. That is known as the direct current. Alright. Now, inside substations there are transformers. Alright. So, what the transformers do? That we have to write. So, what is a transformer? As I said you, the transformer is a device which can change. Change means what? Either it can increase or can decrease the alternating voltage or current. Now, this is just for extra information I am saying. Those who can remember, having interest in science can remember it, and those who do not have interest may forget it. No problem. Now, at different substations are having transformers, as I already said. Now, the grid substation is only having a step up transformer, means which increases the voltage from 11 kilovolt to 132 kilovolt. But the other substations, just like main substations, intermediate substation, city substation, all of them, they are having step down transformer. And step down transformer, what it does, it decreases, you see the term is step down, so it decreases the alternating voltage. Alright, main substation, it decreases the voltage from 132 kilovolt to 33 kilovolt. Intermediate substation, it decreases the voltage from 33 kilovolt to 11 kilovolt. And the city substation, it decreases the voltage from 11 kilovolt to 220 volt. Alright, so at which voltage we get the electricity? It is a very important point. It is 220 volt. At which voltage we get electricity in our household? That is 220 volt, 220 volt. Alright, now whenever electricity is supplied to our houses, then electric companies, they are very clever. They are not giving us electricity free of cost. So, before the electricity enters into your house from the electric pole, when it enters into the electric mains is the main box, main distribution box from where the electricity is supplied to our house. So, from the main box, 3 electrical lines, live, neutral, earth, first it enters into the electric meter. Electric meter, it is having another name, kWh meter. Here one point you must follow, K should be small, W should be capital and H should be small. You should strictly follow the convention. kWh meter. Why? Because the unit of electricity, electrical energy, is kWh, kilowatt hour. The full form is kilowatt hour. So that's why electric meter also named as kWh meter. So what is the electric meter? The device which measure the amount of electrical energy consumed by the consumer. Consumer may be a house, it may be a industry, it may be a company, anything. Alright, so that's why I have given you the general definition. The device which measures amount of electrical energy consumed by the consumer is known as electric meter. Alright, so here now in the electric meter, how we read, I hope everybody has seen that the people, they come from electrical company at the beginning of the month. So what they do, they first suppose just like you have seen the okay, what to say, means you will see that in electric meter, this is the way there are round openings are there where the digits are visible. This is the way digits are visible. So you see, at the beginning of the month you observe the digit, and at the end of the month you observe the digit, and then subtract the two digits. Okay, subtract the two number. You observe the digits, means observe the entire number displayed on the electric meter at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month again observe the digits or the entire number displayed on the electric meter, and then you subtract these two. So when you subtract, you will get how much unit your house consumed in 1 month. Alright, so that is the way electric meter is read. You will see that the person, they just carry one book and then they note down the reading of the electric meter. Okay, they generally come at the beginning of the month. Alright, and so what they are doing, every time they are measuring the reading, getting the reading, subtract the previous reading. So when you subtract the two readings, you will get how many units are consumed by a particular consumer on a particular month. So that is the way electric meter or kWh meter works. Now already we know that power of a device is given by energy consumed divided by time taken. So you see, from this relation one can write what will be energy. Energy will be power into time. Alright. Now SI unit of energy is joule, but the practical unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour. Alright. So you see, it is very simple to understand from this relation. Energy is power into time. So 1 kilowatt hour will be how much power? 1 kilowatt into time. Time is 1 hour. Alright. So how you can define 1 kilowatt hour? If a device of power 1 kilowatt, okay, works for 1 hour, then the energy consumed by it is 1 kilowatt hour. Alright. So how you can define 1 kilowatt hour? When an electrical appliance of power 1 kilowatt works for 1 hour, then the electrical energy consumed by it is 1 kilowatt hour. Alright. So the definition of 1 kilowatt hour is a very important concept. Till 10th standard you have to remember it. Okay. So everybody should learn and practice and prepare the definition of 1 kilowatt hour. So you see, I have just simplified whatever the concept given, that you can calculate the electrical energy in kilowatt, because most of the devices, electrical appliances we use at our houses, power is given in watt instead of kilowatt. Only the microwave, any heating device, means microwave, then geyser, then if you consider any very hi-fi music system, then it may have the kilowatt power. But most of the appliances we use in the household, their power is in watt, not in kilowatt. Now, as you know that 1 kilowatt is 1000 watt. So 1 watt when converted into kilowatt, it will be divided by 1000. So this is the formula you may use. That power in watt into time. Time means the time during which the appliance is working. In hour divided by 1000. Remember, when power you will take in watt, then the power into time should be divided by 1000. Why? Because the unit is kilowatt hour. Alright? And you can use this formula also. When power is in kilowatt and time is in hour, then directly you can multiply and can calculate the energy in kilowatt hour. So the point you have to remember is that power of the appliance, if given in watt, convert it into kilowatt by dividing by 1000. And time, sometimes it happens you have to calculate the power consumed by the electric mixer and grinder. So how long your mom use electric mixer and grinder? For 1 hour? Never. Hardly for 10 minutes, isn't it? So in that case, if you want to find out that how much energy is consumed, what you have to do? The time given in minute, that you have to convert it in hour and then you multiply. That is the implication of this formula. Means when you will multiply power and time, you have to be careful. Power should be converted into kilowatt and time should be converted into hour to get the electrical energy consumed in kilowatt hour. Alright, and then already I told you that how to read the electric meter, that you will take the reading, and then you will subtract the final and initial reading. You will get the how much energy is consumed, how much unit of electrical energy is consumed. So as for example, suppose and total 1 month 200 units are consumed. 200 units means what? 200 kilowatt hour electrical energy, suppose I am giving the example, consumed. Now cost of electricity means cost of 1 kilowatt hour, generally it is 5.75, means 5.75 rupees for 1 kilowatt hour. So you see what will be the total cost of electricity. Total cost will be unit consumed, alright, multiplied by rate of cost. Means simply here how you will find out? 200 into 5.75, that will give you the total cost of energy. Now this portion you do not copy in the notebook. Okay, this portion is for your understanding so that you can solve the numericals later on. So you please do not copy the lower part, whatever I have written, that 200 units, 200 kilowatt hour, the explanation. That explanation just you understand, but don't have to copy that in your notebook. Now as I already told you, that if you want to send electricity from one place to another, then you need 3 lines: live, neutral and earth. So one by one I am discussing. Now live line, you will see that if you just observe the cable, the household wiring, if you see the cable, inside the cable, if you just cut the cable, then you will see that there are 3 lines will come out. One line is brown in color. Okay, that is the live line. So what is the color code for live? That is brown. Okay, and live line, it always carry the high voltage. So as I said you, in household, what is the at which voltage we get the electricity? 220 volt. So live line will always be at 220 volt. And remember, live line is the entry for electric current into anything. You know that in any house, there is an entry and there is the exit, isn't it? So entrance and exit point. So here, live line, through the live line, current enters into a circuit or a device. Alright, so these are the 3 important points one should not forget in life about the live line. Okay, if continue in science. Then next one is neutral. The color code for neutral line is light blue. Although in your book it is blue written, but actual color code means you are, or everyone should have to use the means here you know that inside we are using copper or aluminium ware. Okay, so that copper and aluminium cannot have light blue color. Copper and aluminium will be coated by a plastic cover. That plastic cover should have light blue. Alright, so here what is the color code for neutral? Light blue, and it always carries low voltage, means 0 voltage. Okay, this is a very common question, frequently asked question regarding the live and neutral line. That live line, what is the voltage? 220 volt. What is the voltage of the neutral line? 0 voltage. Okay, it is maintained at 0 volt. And neutral line is the exit, means through the neutral line electric current comes out from a circuit or a device.